Alright, so this is how to beat Qualoths. Technically how to beat AP Killer, but I will also give you some tips on how to beat the Archetype. Because they're pretty basic. They're beat sticks. You know, beating them is not different from beating Beast King, Barros, or Fusilier, or any monster similar to that effect. So, but AP Killer has effects that makes it where you can't just play a card like Dark Hole or something and get rid of it. So there isn't a quick and easy out, but there are tons of options. It's just not a quick and easy out where you could just use BLS to banish them or something like that, like you probably normally would. Definitely not going to exit on it, right? So we got the mighty AP Killer, spells and traps. It's immune to it, so obviously it ain't gonna be no spells and traps in this list to get rid of them, because they can't. You can say, oh, but you can use warning, blah blah, stuff that stops the summoning, but that's stopping the summoning. I don't. My style of playing, I don't focus too much on stopping somebody from doing something. My thing is more reacting. It's more like, oh, okay, you did a good play. It's not a threat, so I'm not gonna do anything, and I'll take you down. I'll summon a monster and beat you easy because your monster was easy to beat. But if you summon a monster that's hard to beat, it's like, okay, now I gotta respond with my cards because this monster is a lot more of a threat than any other monster that I have, that normally I could just probably run over real easy. You know, the basics. You summon a monster with 1700, I just summon a monster with 1800 and run you over. But if your 1700 can't die by battle, and then has an effect that a monster that battles with it dies at the end of the damage count, yeah, me summoning a monster with 1800 to attack with ain't gonna win that battle. I just deal 100 points of damage and my monster dies, which means I'll take 1700 in the following turn. So to avoid stuff like that, you play stuff like Dark Hole and all that other good stuff, right? Anyway, so let's focus first on AP Killer before we throw in some other tips. Share the Pain doesn't directly affect AP Killer. It affects the players. It makes the players tribute a monster on the side field. So as long as your opponent only has AP Killer, he'll have to tribute AP Killer as part of the effect of Share the Pain. And of course, you gotta have a monster of your own to tribute. So that's a basic spell way of taking them out by making your opponent get rid of them for you. Axe of Fools. Now this is not obviously anything that gives you a power boost helps run them over, because that's the most typical way you'll beat them, is running them over. A lot of these cards here are just so you could run them over, beat them by battle. So beating a monster by battle is the most basic most basic thing to do in the game. So it's not always, oh, use an effect, get rid of a monster, use a spell, get rid of a monster. Sometimes just an attack is what you need to get rid of a monster. So Axe of Fool gives you 1000 boost, like a lot of other cards give you boost. It also negates monster effects, which comes in handy. Then it has an add-on 500 damage to the during your standby phases to whoever's monster this card is equipped to. So if you equip this to your opponent's monster during your standby, your opponent takes 500. That could win you the duel, just that little bit of damage. But you know, you could equip it to your monsters, give 1000 boost, especially if you don't need your monster's effect. It acts like a Forbidden Chalice, one-shot skill drain, as it were, in case somebody has a Utopia that let's say you have Grand Mole and Axe of Fool. You can give Axe of Fool to Utopia, summon Grand Mole, attack, bounce Utopia, and that's how you can get rid of Utopia, because you are negating his effect, which is important, right? Valor only works on your opponent's turn. Not many people play Chalice, so why not play Axe of Fool, right? You get 1000 boost from it. I'm not saying Chalice is bad, I recommend it, but Axe of Fool lasts a little bit longer. The extra 1000 boost permanently while it's equipped to a monster is very, very versatile, so that's why I use Axe of Fools as opposed to Chalice. And I can go on with different ways you could use Exo Full. Like you could obviously use it on your own monsters to negate their effects, like Beast King Barrow, so he could become a 4,000, that type of stuff. Basic stuff, right? Or let's say you have a monster that's strong, but it can't attack the turn you summon it. You probably could use this so it can attack or something like that. Amulet of Ambition, just another power boost card. Especially a lot of these. This really works more against AP Killer, because AP Killer's level doesn't change. He's a 10-star, so his level doesn't change. Unlike the other call-offs, who level does change when they're normal or special. So that does make a difference because they come level 4, so this card is kind of useless against them. But against AP Killer, it's useful because you just equip this to like a 1-star normal monster, and there you go. You might have a Flamebolt Guard in your deck or something like that. You know, might have a 4-star Valena. You might be playing Dino Rap or something, and this would be useful. This will give you that extra oomph to run AP Killer over. Limb removal. If you're running machines, obviously this will be the easiest way to guarantee your monster strong enough to run them over. Santa Claus, because tributing AP Killer to summon this is a summoning condition. You tribute to summon it, so it's not an effect that's affecting him type of thing, so he can't be protected from it. Same goes for Volcanic Queen, Lava Golem. So these are 3 monsters that you can use to tribute him out of the field. Santa Claus, currently not available in the TCG for us right now, but if it was, it would be a good out because you can still summon the turn you play this, and he's pretty weak and easy to kill. In attack, well, of course he comes out in defense, but you can use you can summon Corn or kill him and deal 1,000, whatever you want. Of course, Tragodia, because Tragodia is a 10-star, he'll be immune to the inability of using his effect against AP Killer, so you can use this to steal AP Killer and then exceed into a Gustav Max or some shit like that, or just to make your opponent cry, like, look, I took your AP Killer, let's see you deal with him, let's see you stop the unstoppable, right? So that's pretty good. Also the fact that he gets stronger, Trag gets stronger for the number of cards in your hand, so if you have the right number of cards in your hands, you can make him strong enough to run over AP Killer, because you could relatively easily make him a 3,800. Malefic Cyber End, just by there being a field spell and a Cyber End dragon in your extra deck, you can summon him. He'll become 3,500 by AP's effect, but 3,500 is enough to run over AP Killer. Cyber Iltanin is a 10-star, so its effect can work on AP Killer. You special summon it, and then you can just destroy AP Killer by Cyber's effect, because he's a 10-star, and AP Killer is not immune to the effects of 10 stars and higher. He's only immune to 9 stars and lower, and rank 9s and lower. Endless Decay. Summon Endless Decay. When your opponent has 8,000 life points, he'll be 4,000. Then he'll be reduced by 500, and 3,500 is still enough to run AP Killer over with. You can use stuff like, you know, obviously Call Haunted, Call the Mummy, Book of Life, you know, anything like that. You can just normal summon them, you know. You know, you can just Treeborn Frog, tribute, summon this, you know, that type of stuff, and get his effect off so you can run AP Killer over. Microlord, Army of Grinnell, same thing as Endless Decay. When it's special summon, you'll gain half the attack career points, life points, and if he's at 8,000, you'll be 4,000. So then you'll become 3,500, and it's still enough to run over AP Killer. Injection Fairy Lily, you can normal summon it, so it doesn't lose no power. And then during Damage Cowl, you pay 2,000 to make a 3,400, enough to kill AP Killer. That's good for any spell-based decks. Great Marjorie Guard is that. You can special summon something. that has a decent attack strength, preferably something 2500 special. That monster will now be 2000. You tribute summon Great Marjorie Gazette, you become 4000. Even if you summon Cyber Dragon, for example, and if you have Chimera type forces, you could just do the Chimera type. Let's say Thrasher, Cyber Dragon, not good. Thrasher, special Thrasher. Thrasher will become it loses 500, so it becomes 1600. Then you tribute him for Great Marjorie Gazette. Great Marjorie Gazette will become a 3200, more than enough to run over AP Killer. So you could do something like that. Plus Thrasher is just a good card in general play, so you could pull that off. Anything that can help you gain back the power boost you lost. For example, Fire Dragon Star. I guess they're changing the names now. Fire Dragon Star, Cosmic Dragon, Ying Zhang Zing, Fire Dragon Star. I like Cosmic Dragon. They should stay at Cosmic Dragon, much better. So Suani, you use him as synchro material. He gives 500 attack and defense to the monster you synchroed. So obviously it'd be a good idea to summon a monster that has 3000 or more attack, and then the 500 that you lose wouldn't be a big deal because you gain 500, so that balances itself out, so you'll still be 3000 or higher. For people who don't synchro, for XYZ plays, you can use Summoner Monk and go into Extra Sword, and then use Extra Sword. Of course, Extra Sword will give you an extra 1000 boost, so that can come in handy, obviously, because you can go into like Utopia or something. Utopia will lose 500 attack, so it'll be 2000. But then with the Extra Sword, is extra 1000. That'll be 3000, enough that you can clash heads with AP Killer. With Utopia, you could use double or nothing. You could summon him. He'll be with the Extra Sword, it'll be 3000, right? Even if you summon him regular and he becomes a 2000, you don't have an extra power boost. You could attack, negate your attack, then play double or nothing, become 4000, and then he can attack again and take down AP Killer. You could do something like that if you want. But Extra Sword is just for automatically you use them as XYZ material. You're automatically gaining that power boost. He's a warrior. You could roll him, so it's easier to search. Guarantee you can get his effect off. If you're a synchro player, like if you play the Thunder family or something, Violent Prison is awesome because you'll summon, you'll synchro for something. Let's say you synchro for Stardust Radiance, not Radiance, Stardust Spark Dragon. That's his name right now. Stardust Spark Dragon. Of course, he'll come out as a 2000 because he'll lose 500. You use Violence effect to pay 500 to equip it. Now he's a 3000, and then he's a 3000. Then when you apply his effect, so he can't be destroyed, so that way he's not destroyed by battle. Then you can bunk heads with AP Killer, and AP Killer dies, and your Stardust Spark will still be on the field and stuff like that. But of course, you can synchro into anything you want. You can make a Colossal Fighter and then give Colossal Fighter the extra 1000 boost, and he'll be a 3300 plus his own effects, so he can go beyond that. And so forth and so forth. Red Dragon Archfiend, you can make a 3500 Red Dragon Archfiend with this. Honest is good. Let's say you don't even have the ability to synchro. All you have is Violent Prison and Honest. Just these two alone is enough to take them down, right? Honest, obviously, it's good in a lot of light decks. There's no point in me pointing out stuff like having in this list Crane for the Boojins, Kalutes for the Black Wings, and any other deck that has monsters that you discard during damage step for a power boost, because those are deck specific. Honest is just it's pretty generic. It's just creature type. It's just attribute specific, but makes it more generic by being an attribute specific card. And a lot of decks that's out there, stuff like Boojins, Sotelas, Constellars, by Hunter family, Cyber Dragon decks, so on and so on and so on and so on. So plenty of light decks out there, light swarms of course. Plenty of light decks out there, so Honest would be very common in those decks, obviously. Chimera Tag Fortress, if you got the Cyber Dragon, Proto Cyber, whatever, you can go for this because Chimera Tag's summoning is a condition, not an effect, so he can send AP Killer to the grave for the effect. For the summoning of this. Cyber and Dragon, if you could fuse into this bad boy, or you use the effect of Cyber Nova and summon this, and then you have a 3500 that can take down AP Killer. If you're playing, Utopia deck and you have ZW Lion Arms, you could equip this to any of your Utopias, your Utopia Roots, your Ray, your V's, Hopes, whatever. You get that free 3000 boost and run them over. If you use his summoning ability, that you can summon him on a Utopia monster by discarding a Micro Magic card. Bang! You have a 3500 that can run over AP Killer virtually free of charge. Army Arm, awesome. You can special him. He'll lose power, but doesn't matter because you're going to equip and gain 1000 boost to your monster. So it's a good way of giving a monster an extra boost so it can run over AP Killer. Colossal Fighter, under the right conditions, like 7 warriors in the grave or something like that, will make him strong enough that he'll be 3000 after losing 500. That'll be 3000 power. You could bunk heads with AP Killer, then bring back Colossal Fighter, and then attack directly for 3500. So that's a great thing, and I like that combo the most. Like, I like using him. I prefer to use him the most because that 3500 direct is lovely. Or if he has another monster, want to get rid of both monsters, not just AP Killer by himself. Under the right conditions, of course. If there's 10 light monsters in the graveyard, you can gain an extra. 2000, so you'll be a 4400, and then you lose 500, so you'll be 3900. And 3900 is enough to take down AP Killer. But of course, your opponent is going to have light types for this to apply. I just like it, and I just threw it in there. Not saying that this will immediately get any type of power, but for some reason, if your opponent has 10 lights in his graveyard in an AP Killer deck, right, that would have the power to run him over. Star Eater, he'll lose power, but then when he attacks, he'll be unaffected by AP's effects, so he'll be back to 3200, easily taking AP Killer down. And of course, he's immune to spells and traps and other monster effects when he declares an attack, so you don't have to worry about a Deep Prison Mirror Force type of response. And of course, the summon can't be negated, so you don't have to worry about somebody warning him. You just summon him and attack and win and beat AP down. Odin, because he's Father, oh Father, right? Father Odin. He'll come out as a 3500, more than enough to kill AP. Ancient Sacred Wyvern, under the right conditions, it'll be strong enough to run AP Killer over. So that's an option, especially if you create this in a artifact deck, or with a 2-star Herald of Orange Tuner or something like that, with an artifact. You can synchro into this bad boy and use them to take down AP Killer. There was another synchro that I didn't get a chance to put in here, and it's Draco something, I think it was. I forgot what it's called, but it's a It's like the name is almost on top of my head. Descendant. No, not Descendant. Something close to that. Ascension. Something like Dragon Ascension. Something like that. Dragon Ascension. Something like that. So you should another option because it gets disliked. If you can synchronize it, it's a good option. I might as well take the time to actually look up the card for you. So, okay, just want to have to scroll down the hard way. There you go. Okay, there's no G in it, but it is Dragon Ascension, the Supreme Sky Dragon. Alright, so Sky Dragon. Him. On the right conditions, he'll be strong enough to take down ApoQliphoth. And that's the end of the video.